Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. We still have one more minute.
Okay. I was looking at your cheesecake.
Oh,
They look so good.
did you try it?
I might have to try. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay. It's like, it doesn't taste like cheesecake, but it tastes like like ice cream kind of thing. But
Oh my
it's
God, even
good.
better.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we can start. So, okay. Let's wait a little bit more. Okay, I'll start right now. There are 1 people attended. All right. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Okay. I think we can start so the rest of the people can. Okay. There are people attending. Hi. Hello, everyone. Okay. Right now, I will mute all of you. All right. So let me share my screen with you. Okay. All right. So I think we are all set and ready for the webinar. So thanks for joining. I just mute all of you, but if there are any questions along the way, oh, there are more people. Just a second. Yeah, if you have any questions, please write into the message part, so I can try to answer all of them. All right. So welcome to the webinar. I'm hoping this webinar will be helpful and informative for all of you. And at the end of the webinar, you will be able to implement the information that I will share with you in your daily routine. All right, so today we're going to talk about NEAT. So it's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It sounds like a fancy word, but it's a very basic thing. So most of us missing our daily walk commute to work, our lunch breaks with our friends. So we became actually less active in this time period. So this webinar is to understand why it's so important to stay moving while working from home, and how to increase our need activities while we are staying at home and going through this high stress period. Okay, so before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Zeynep, and you may know me from Bodzi and from CrossFit 416. I'm also doing Instagram stories. I'm doing recipes on Instagram stories of Bodzi on Sundays. So I'm born and raised in Istanbul, Turkey. and I finished my undergraduate on nutrition and dietetics, and now holding my Bachelor of Science degree. And then I moved to Toronto to further my education in nutrition and to pursue my career aspiration and become a registered dietitian in Canada. And now currently I finished my accreditation program, and I'm currently in the process of completing my internship period. So I enjoy following the nutrition and science and developing knowledge by attending courses and seminars, and keeping up to date with the latest research, and of course using my knowledge to knowledge as a nutrition coach and body. Okay. So let's look today's webinar's table of contents to have a better idea of what we are going to talk about today. First, we will talk about energy balance in our body, and we will go into total energy expenditure, our energy output, and we will break down our total energy expenditure, and then we will do one reflection activity to get to know how active we really are, and we will go deep into a non-exercise activity thermogenesis and what is science saying about it. And at the end, we will talk what we can do more to improve our neat activities in a daily life. Okay. So energy balance in the body. Most of the time we hear energy in and energy out as known as calories in and calories out, but what exactly that means? So the energy balance in the body includes all the simple and complex inner workings in the body, as well as external factors too. So the factors that influence energy in is hunger and satiety. It is influenced by our hormones. The second one is the foods we have consumed. It depends on the availability of the food, our cultural and socioeconomic status. And third, nutrient absorption. This is related to our microbiome, our health status, our digestive tract health. And factors that influence energy out. It has three main factors. The first one is basal metabolic rate. It is known as energy burned as we are resting, and it is influenced by our body size, our genetics, our age, and that kind of stuff. And the second one is thermic effect of food. It is the energy burned by metabolizing food, digesting, absorbing, and storing. And the third one is activity. So activity has two main components. The first one is exercise activity thermogenesis, and the second one is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And in addition to those two main energy balance contributors, we have homeostatic factors, internal factors in our body, such as hormones, and external factors such as our environment, our behaviors, and our lifestyle. Okay, so let's look deep into our total energy expenditure. So that is the amount of energy utilized by our body that we output. So the first contributor is basal metabolic rate, and it is the amount of energy our body needs to expend to survive and keep going on essential biological function. And the second one is thermic effect of food, and this is also known as diet-induced thermogenesis, and it's the increase in the metabolic rate after we consume food for digestion and absorption. And the last one is physical activity level. um, sorry, which consists of any kind of daily physical activity, and it has two factors. The one is exercise-related activity thermogenesis. It's doing anything that you are doing throughout the day as sports-like activities such as running, swimming, rowing, and weightlifting. And the second component of physical activity is need. And those are the activities that you are able to add in your daily routine outside of sports-like exercises. And I want to make it clear the difference between physical activity and exercise. So physical activity is movement that is carried out by our skeletal muscles that requires energy. However, exercise is planned and structured, repetitive, and movements intended to improve the physical fitness. So the exercise is a subcategory of the physical activity. Okay, so in this slide, you're seeing a bar chart that shows the breakdown of total energy expenditure. So as you can see that the major portion of the total energy expenditure is our basal metabolic rate. So as you're sitting and watching this webinar, there are like lots of biological and chemical process occurring inside of you, and it accounts for 60 to 70% of our total energy expenditure. And thermic effect of food, it's the number of calories you burn by digesting food, and it accounts for 5 to 10% of total energy expenditure. And the next one is our exercise activity thermogenesis, and that one accounts for 10 to 15% of our calorie expenditure, and it is dependent on like what kind of exercise you are performing. And lastly, we have NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and that one helps you in the long run. So factors that influence your need include things such as walking to work, doing housework, carrying grocery bags, that kind of everyday activities. And despite the fact that sitting won't increase your need, but like doing the activities while you are sitting helps for your need to increase. Okay. So right now we will do a reflection activity, and I want you to reflect your past 24 hours, such as like what do you do during a typical 24 hour, and how many hours did you spend sleeping and sitting down, and how many hours did you spend moving. And like just grab a pen and paper if you can and write it down, or just like make this calculation in your mind. And after you're done with that one, now I want you to be more specific and think about what activities you did and how long were they, and what was the intensity of those movements. So like while you guys are writing or reflecting your own 24 hours, I would like to give an example from my past 24 hour. So in the past 24 hour, unfortunately, I wasn't able to move that much. So I walked 5K in the morning and came home, did some housework, cleaned the house for 1 hour. And after that, like I sat in front of my computer and I just tried to give some regular breaks in every 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. And I went to grocery shopping and spent some time, like approximately 30 minutes by standing, and 20 minutes to going there and coming back to home. And so I also did a 1 hour workout. So as a result, I slept 7 hours. I spent 6 hours actively, and the rest, which is 12 hours, I mostly spent in front of my computer, studying and watching some like videos on my computer. So that's not a bad day, but I know that I had better days in terms of physical activity. So with this reflection activity, I was trying to point out how actually we are inactive in daily life, and especially during the quarantine. And sometimes we may think our 1 hour activity workout will be enough, but it's not, and I will explain you why. Okay, so let's think like how we become to that. So NEAT was an integral part of daily lives in the past. So you can imagine your grandparents years ago getting like tons of non-exercise thermogenesis activities, such as walking into market, carrying the groceries, and doing some housework, and like doing laundry, and doing some garden work. So, and when your parents started their office jobs, probably they walked down the hall to talk their co-workers rather than emailing them. And these types of natural human movements have been replaced by technology and lifestyle change, resulting in a dramatic decrease in physical activity. So in the past decades, we've invested so much time and effort making our lives easier and more comfortable, but unfortunately, this path is actually taking us far from our happy and healthy place. So the more we sit, the higher chances we have to get serious health issues, actually. So over the past few decades, we heard a minimum of 30 minutes of daily exercise is essential to good health. However, the latest research also suggests that how much time we spend sitting could be just as important as how much time we spend exercising. So right now I will share you some unknown facts about NEAT. So we see that NEAT is activity that we are able to add in our daily routine outside of sports-like activities. And it is very interesting that some studies have explained the increase in obesity epidemic as a result of declined NEAT activities. And people living in blue zones, where people live the healthiest and longest with the highest concentration of centenarians, have high levels of NEAT. So this suggests regular light movement is just as important for health as regular exercising. So how sitting impacts our health, so why it is suggested over and over again to reduce the sitting time. So first of all, I would like to share the outcome of a research from Canadian Cancer Society, Canadian Cancer Association. So Canadians spend 69% of their waking hours sitting, which makes 10 hours of a day. So it is pretty huge. And researchers recognize sedentary behavior as a health risk since it can lead to weight gain. And actually, it is all about its effect to your body. When you're sitting, your muscles are inactive and your body isn't able to manage your blood glucose normally. So this contributes to metabolic syndrome, which is known as a cluster of conditions that occur together, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and high blood sugar levels, and excess abdominal fat. So these factors increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Okay, so sitting for too long means your muscles aren't burning as much as fat as they could be, and your blood is flowing throughout your body at a slower pace and giving fatty acids in your blood a better chance of clogging your heart, and which can lead to coronary heart disease. So one study found that the more time we spend sitting in our cars and watching TVs, the more we are likely to have some type of cardiovascular diseases in later life. And the second point is when we are not moving enough and sitting too long, our body is not able to use blood sugar, and that's not a good thing for sure. A study of more than like 80,000 people found each hour they spend watching television, they increase their risk of developing diabetes by 3.4%. So, which is very significant percent and amount. So we have to think more before we like Netflix and chill, I think. And our second point is remaining stationary for too long also slows blood circulation to the legs, and which can lead to swollen ankles, blood clots, swelling, and pain, especially in the later years of life. So at the scarier end is when a blood clot forms in your legs, and eventually if that blood clot break free, it may obstruct other parts of your body, such as your lungs or your brain. So this situation also has cognitive aspect too. Like, it's so common that people think giving a break while working will probably mess up their concentration. However, studies showing the opposite. So sitting down to work can actually lead to trouble concentration. And when we are not moving, there is less blood being pumped up to your brain. This slows down our cognitive function and may lead to brain fog. All right, so so right now I will share an experience with one of my clients. So that client is a female client, and she was working out almost like 3 to 4 hours a day to like burn more calories to support her weight loss. And actually this is putting too much stress on her body, and absolutely not a healthy and sustainable behavior in the long term. And then we discussed, and we have decided to reduce her training hours to 1 to 2 hours an average a day, and incorporate more need activities such as biking and walking rather than using a bus or subway, or scheduling regular moving breaks while sitting, and maybe doing housework for 20 to 30 minutes rather than doing all housework in one day. So, and at the end of 1 month, she saw a significant body composition change and overall weight loss. And also she was feeling more energized than before. And like for me, this experience was a pretty like eye-opening to understand how our daily activities contribute our energy expenditure. Okay, so this is a result of a study. Okay, so in 2019, a study has been conducted to find out how inactivity induces resistance to metabolic benefits following an acute exercise. So they took two groups of people. One group is inactive, sitting majority of the time and performing only 1 hour exercise, and the other group were not doing any specific exercise, but they're active throughout the day. And as a result, they have found out in people who are physically active, physically inactive, and sitting for a majority of the time of the day, a 1 hour exercise failed to improve their lipid profile, their glucose levels, and insulin metabolism. So it seems that like something inherent to inactivity and or prolonged sitting makes the body resistant to the 1 hour exercise, preventing the normally derived metabolic improvements following exercise. So those studies are concluded that exercising doesn't make up for a sedentary lifestyles, unfortunately. All right, so those are like few other outcomes for from studies. So one study showed that lean non-exercises burned more than 350 calories more compared to the control group, which are sedentary. And the other outcome is increasing need activities also helps individuals on the maintenance after weight loss. And another study, a long study, 7-year study, found that 1 to 2 hours of need activity per day result in reduction of mortality 50 to 60%. All right, so well, you got tons of nice information about need, and I believe that we all agree that we have to move more and sit less. So what do we have to do now? So sitting less and moving more, working at home, office, or home. So we all have an idea on how to increase our physical activity in a day if we were in quarantine at home, but since we are in different schedule and routine than regular, we are struggling to find ways to keep activity high. So an easy way to start transforming a sedentary behavior, sedentary lifestyle into a more active one is to begin standing more and sitting less. The first one is creating a standing desk if it's possible. If you work at desk all day, create a workstation that requires you to stand, and therefore you will more. And the second one is schedule your moving breaks. Like schedule regular breaks during the day to go for a walk, do some light stretching, do some laundry or dishes. Maybe you can set an alarm to remind you to move every 30 to 60 minutes. And when it goes off, you can perform any like housework, or you can do some random exercises such as like jumping jacks, you can skip rope, or you can do some like stretching too. And the next one is the like fundamental one, actually, like skipping elevators and using stairs most of the time. And if you have any phone call, any meeting while you're at the home, just walk around whenever you talk to someone on the phone. Also consider maybe doing some, like squats or some stretching if it's possible while you are talking on the phone. And the last one is move while you are sitting. we all know that like sitting is not a good thing for our health, but if you are sitting, if you can do some exercises, you can make like fist and release, you can tap fingers, and you can stretch your arms, your legs. So those, they all contribute to your active energy expenditure at the end of the day. And in daily life, with or without quarantine, you can still skip elevator and take the stairs, and walk or ride a bicycle when you can, instead of driving or using bus or taking a subway. And while watching television, get up and move around. You can also set an alarm to yourself to move more, or you can just turn off the TV, and instead you can turn this TV hours into physically healthy and mentally beneficial activities, such as maybe meditation, and maybe cooking healthy foods, a healthy meal, or working out. And the last one is monitor your daily steps. Like use your smartphone, use your fitness tracker, and monitor your daily steps. And just have a target step in a day. Maybe first day you have 4K steps in a day, but on the second day you may increase to 5. Just don't go hard at first, but gradually increase as you build that habit. And okay, at home. So there are also useful tips for our times we spend at home. So the first one is, instead of dedicating just one day to clean your apartment or your house, try to include daily cleaning activities every day that probably take 20 or 30 minutes. And dance while cleaning. Okay, so that's the best one. So like turn up the music while you are cleaning. So at the end, you will also have some enjoyable moment at home. And you can also wash your dishes with your hand to spend more time standing. But of course, don't waste too much water while doing that. And you can spend more active time on the laundry, like while you are loading the machine, like take some like small steps side to side, or fold and iron your clothes while standing. And maybe rather than putting them away at all once, you can do them one by one to move more. Okay, so the bottom line. So the bottom line is like find a way to move more naturally throughout the day. So we just need to intentionally give our body what it needs, movement and care. So what I want you to like what I want you to do is incorporate these mini movements in your day. So at the end, you will live longer, you'll be able to manage your weight better and move as we were designed, because it is very clear that human body is not designed for sitting. All right, so those are the references that I used for this presentation. If you guys want to look more in details to them, just feel free to do that. And yeah, that's all for now from me. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Here is my email address. And we will also send the recording of this webinar and some resources you may go by your own and read after our webinar. So thank you for joining once again. Have a great night, and don't forget to move. And if you have any questions, just send me. Oh, I have a question, I think. Oh, thank you. Yeah, okay, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me, guys. I was trying to unmute all of you. Okay. Okay, thanks for joining me.
Thanks,
Once again.
Zeynep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Have a great dinner and do some stretching at the end of the day.
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.